The world is once again holding its breath, watching with bated breath as tensions escalate in the Middle East. The delicate balance of power in the region teeters precariously, threatening to spill over into a wider global crisis. A fragile ceasefire, brokered just yesterday between Iran and Israel, hangs by a thread, a testament to the deep-seated animosity and mistrust that plagues the region. The international community is desperately hoping this truce will hold, but the underlying issues remain unresolved. Recent Israeli airstrikes on Iranian nuclear sites, a calculated move to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions, and Iran's retaliatory missile attack on an Israeli hospital, a tragic act that resulted in numerous casualties, have escalated tensions to a boiling point, drawing in the US, a long-standing ally of Israel, who is now attempting to de-escalate the situation, and threatening wider conflict, potentially engulfing the entire region in a devastating war. The stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences could be catastrophic. Iran's threats to block the Strait of Hormuz, a critical artery for global oil supplies, a choke point for a fifth of global oil, have sent shockwaves through the energy markets, have sent oil prices soaring to levels not seen in years, triggering fears of a global recession, and markets into turmoil, with investors scrambling to protect their assets amidst the uncertainty. Even brief lulls in fighting, offering a momentary respite from the chaos, haven't calmed fears of a major supply disruption, which could cripple economies worldwide. President Trump's ceasefire efforts offer a glimmer of hope, a potential path towards de-escalation and a return to stability, but Iran's parliament is doubling down on its nuclear ambitions, further complicating the situation and raising concerns about a potential nuclear arms race in the region. The region remains on a knife's edge, with both sides poised for further escalation, with the world economy hostage to every new development, as investors and businesses anxiously await news from the region. For consumers everywhere, from bustling city centers to quiet rural towns, this means higher prices at the pump, squeezing household budgets and impacting daily commutes. And on store shelves, as the cost of goods and services continues to rise due to increased transportation and production expenses. The fate of global markets now hinges on a fragile peace in a volatile region, a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the world economy. The stakes could not be higher, as the world watches and waits to see if diplomacy can prevail or if the region is destined for further conflict. When oil prices surge, it's not just a number on a screen. It's a seismic event that reverberates through every corner of the global economy. The impact is immediate, far-reaching, and often deeply unsettling. The world feels it instantly. From bustling city centers to remote rural communities, the pinch of rising oil prices is felt by everyone, everywhere. It's a stark reminder of our interconnectedness and our reliance on this vital resource. Gasoline and diesel costs spike, hitting consumers directly in their wallets. Filling up your car becomes a more significant expense, and the cost of transportation for goods and services inevitably rises, squeezing family budgets, forcing difficult choices about where to cut back. Vacations are postponed, eating out becomes a luxury, and even essential purchases are reconsidered. The pressure on household finances intensifies, and raising the price of everything from groceries to plane tickets. The cost of food production and transportation increases, leading to higher prices at the supermarket. Air travel becomes more expensive, impacting tourism and business travel alike. Businesses pass on higher transportation and production costs, struggling to maintain profitability in the face of rising expenses. Small businesses in particular often bear the brunt of these increases, facing tough decisions about pricing and staffing, fueling inflation. As prices rise across the board, the purchasing power of consumers diminishes, leading to a decline in overall economic activity. Inflation erodes savings and makes it harder for people to make ends meet. Central banks face a tough choice. They are the guardians of economic stability, and rising oil prices present a significant challenge to their mandates. Raise interest rates and risk recession, potentially stifling economic growth and causing job losses. Higher interest rates can also make it more expensive for businesses to borrow money, further dampening investment, or let inflation run wild, allowing prices to spiral out of control and further eroding the value of people's savings. Uncontrolled inflation can lead to economic instability and social unrest. High oil prices can tip the global economy into slowdown as businesses and consumers alike cut back on spending. Economic activity grinds to a halt, and the risk of a more severe downturn increases. Or even recession, a period of sustained economic decline characterized by job losses, business failures, and reduced consumer spending. Recessions can have long-lasting consequences for individuals and economies, as consumers and companies cut back, tightening their belts and reducing discretionary spending. The impact is visible in empty shopping malls, reduced factory output, and a general sense of economic uncertainty. Developing nations suffer most, often lacking the resources to cushion the blow of rising oil prices. These countries are particularly vulnerable to economic shocks and social unrest, with rising energy bills triggering economic crises, pushing already vulnerable populations into deeper poverty. Fuel shortages can disrupt essential services and further exacerbate economic hardship and social unrest. As people struggle to afford basic necessities, frustration and anger can boil over, leading to protests and demonstrations. The threat of Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global oil supplies, adds another layer of complexity and risk, injects a risk premium into every barrel of oil. Geopolitical instability and the potential for supply disruptions drive up prices, even in the absence of actual shortages. The world has seen this before. History offers valuable lessons about the potential consequences of high oil prices. Oil shocks in the 1970s led to stagflation, a combination of high inflation and slow economic growth that plagued many countries. And global hardship. The economic pain of the 1970s serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of energy security and sound economic policies. Today's conflict is a stark reminder that geopolitical events can have a profound impact on the global economy, particularly through their influence on energy markets. Energy insecurity anywhere means economic pain everywhere. The interconnectedness of the global energy system means that disruptions in one region can quickly spread to others. For most countries, the Middle East crisis is a warning of tough times ahead. Governments and policymakers must be prepared to address the economic challenges posed by rising oil prices. The ripple effects are global, immediate, and inescapable. No country is immune to the impact of rising oil prices in today's interconnected world. The world economy is on edge, bracing for the potential consequences of continued high oil prices and geopolitical instability. The path ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: energy security is more critical than ever. Amid global anxiety, Argentina sees opportunity. Sitting on vast oil and gas reserves, Argentina stands to benefit from soaring prices. High global prices make its expensive shale extraction profitable, attracting investment. This could bring in much-needed dollars, stabilize the peso, and tame inflation. A booming energy sector means jobs, growth, and a chance to break Argentina's cycle of crisis. As traditional suppliers falter, Argentina could emerge as a key global energy player. For Argentina, the Middle East turmoil could be the catalyst for economic transformation. Argentina's energy hopes rest on Vaca Muerta, a massive shale formation in Patagonia. With reserves rivaling top U.S. shale fields, Vaca Muerta could make Argentina energy self-sufficient and a major exporter. Unlocking these resources requires advanced technology and huge investment. State energy company YPF, partnering with global giants, leads the charge. Success here could end Argentina's reliance on imports and reshape its economy. The oil is for export. The gas can power the nation for decades. Even tapping a fraction of Vaca Muerta's potential could transform Argentina's fortunes. The world is watching as this sleeping giant stirs. The stakes are enormous. Despite Vaca Muerta's promise, Argentina's history with foreign investors is fraught. Political volatility, sudden policy shifts, and the 2012 nationalization of YPF have left deep scars. Investors remember broken contracts and costly legal battles. This legacy means higher borrowing costs and limited access to capital. Energy companies need assurance that rules won't change overnight. Without trust and stability, Argentina's resources will stay underground. Overcoming this mistrust is Argentina's biggest challenge. For years, Argentina's energy sector suffered from price controls and underinvestment. Producers had little incentive to invest, leading to declining output and costly imports. The result? Lost self-sufficiency and a drain on foreign reserves. Since 2019, policy has shifted slowly toward attracting investment and developing Vaca Muerta. Production is rising, imports are falling, and exports to neighbors have resumed. Both YPF and international firms are ramping up drilling. The sector is finally moving forward, but decades of neglect won't be undone overnight. Argentina is racing to catch up. Infrastructure is now Argentina's biggest bottleneck. Vaca Muerta's remote location and full pipelines limit how much oil and gas can reach markets. Producers face costly workarounds or must slow production. Export terminals, storage, and LNG plants all need massive upgrades. Projects like the Néstor-Kirchner gas pipeline are underway, but take time and money. Without new infrastructure, Argentina can't fully capitalize on high prices. The race is on to build the arteries that will carry energy to the world. Time is of the essence. The ongoing crisis in the Middle East, marked by geopolitical instability and disruptions to traditional energy supply routes, has unexpectedly opened a rare and potentially transformative window of opportunity for Argentina. This confluence of events presents a unique chance for the nation to assert itself on the global energy stage. High prices, driven by supply concerns, coupled with an ever-increasing global demand for stable and reliable energy suppliers, are creating a favorable environment for countries with proven reserves and the capacity to ramp up production. This situation puts the spotlight squarely on Vaca Muerta, Argentina's vast shale oil and gas formation, a resource that holds the potential to reshape the country's economic future and its role in the international energy market. But seizing this moment, capitalizing on this unique opportunity, requires more than just favorable geology and abundant natural resources. It demands a comprehensive and coordinated approach, encompassing policy stability, robust infrastructure development, and crucially, the cultivation of investor trust, both domestic and international. The government must act decisively to lock in clear, predictable, and long-term regulatory rules that provide a stable framework for investment and operations in the energy sector. Furthermore, it is imperative to expedite the completion of key pipeline projects, ensuring the efficient transportation of resources from the Vaca Muerta region to domestic markets and export terminals. Attracting substantial foreign capital, which is essential for large-scale energy projects, depends heavily on demonstrating that Argentina is a reliable and trustworthy partner, committed to honoring agreements and fostering a stable investment climate. Rebuilding trust, particularly after years of sovereign debt defaults and protracted disputes with international investors, is absolutely essential to unlock the full potential of Vaca Muerta. A thriving and well-managed energy sector has the potential to not only generate significant revenue, but also to stabilize the Argentine economy, creating jobs and fostering broader economic growth. Success in this endeavor could significantly enhance Argentina's global standing, positioning it as a key player in the international energy arena and strengthening its diplomatic influence. The world is watching closely with considerable interest to see if Argentina can finally deliver on its long-held promise and transform its vast energy resources into tangible economic benefits. The opportunity presented is truly extraordinary, a confluence of factors that may not be repeated for many years to come. But it is also fleeting, a window that could close rapidly if decisive action is not taken promptly. Can Argentina rise to the challenge, overcome its historical obstacles, and finally become the energy powerhouse it has long aspired to be, securing its economic future and its place on the world stage?